Good afternoon. First, I want to say thank you for attending, everyone. My name is Mark Aurelio. I'm with Targus. Today, we're going to be talking about breaking down USB-C confusion. So, first, I want to start out with, some stats. A little bit about the USB-C market. You think about it. There's going to be projected 5 billion devices that are going to be using USB-C by 2021. And that's not just your laptops and your tablets. It's also going to be things like cars and boats and cameras. So it's really going to impact all of our lives in one way or another, because we're going to be interfacing with that. And the market itself is projected to be 1.2 billion. So it's really big, but you think about, well, what is USB-C? And the first thing to remember is USB-C is just a connector. It's just really that physical piece of metal that's connecting to these different devices. And it's also, kind of keep in mind how this evolves. Like, why did the industry create USB-C? And if you look at the bottom part of this, you can see there's lots of different connectors that were out there. There's USB-A, there's USB type B, and there was also different types of connectors that were required for video and power. And as devices became thinner and lighter, there was less room, less ports, size that could support that. So the reason this came about was so that there was a single connector that was going to really simplify things. So now this single connector supports video, power, and data. So it's consolidating things, and in theory, it's going to make your life simpler. But the important thing to remember too is that this enables those things. It doesn't necessarily mean that those things have been implemented on the connector. So that's where things can kind of go wrong here, right? While the idea is great, and I think it has improved and simplified things, there's also a lot of leeway or a lot of openness to the spec in terms of what is implemented on the device. So, I've broken this down into different components. If you start on the far left side, the power, for example, the spec can support up to 100 watts of power. And there's varying power profiles, and there's also different, there's different voltages that need to match in order for that to actually establish what's called a power contract. So all these things come into effect into whether or not it'll actually power the device. And it's also, now that device, the power can be both ways. It's dynamic. So it can give power or take power dynamically when you connect. So that can create some problems and confusion. And when you connect, and how much power does that device take? Is the voltage rail there? And what about if it requires more than 100 watts? And that's where some vendors are going in and doing maybe some proprietary things. So you have to be aware that, all right, if you purchase something or if you invest in some technology that requires more than that, are you going to then be stuck with something that's only going to work with that vendor's products? Next, if you get into video on the right, now that video is enabled over that, there's other questions you have to ask, like, well, what resolution supported? And what's the refresh rate? And what about multiple extended displays? If I want 2 or 4, will that work? And if you're using a docking station, for example, will that dock work with all the different devices to support all those videos? And then data. So data, the USB data is there, but then, okay, there's different data throughput that's supported. So it's USB 3.1 Gen 1 or 3.2 Gen 1. So the naming's changed, which has also contributed to some of the confusion that's out there. There's lots of different terminology and names, and when you hear all these things, especially as a consumer, you think, well, what does that really mean? So just know that the data throughput can vary. It could be 5 gigs, 10 gigs, and if it's Thunderbolt 3, that could be 40. And then lastly, cables matter. And what that means is just because that throughput's supported, if you're using an older cable or a cable that doesn't support that, that doesn't mean you're going to still get that. That's going to provide a constraint on what kind of throughput you can get through that connection. And I've got another slide that talks a little bit more about cables matter, because that's usually the last thing people think of, right? Sometimes that's overlooked. And then on the far left here, alternate modes. So you might hear this come up, alt mode, USB-C alt mode. Well, what does that mean? So alt mode is an alternate to the, excuse me, to the spec. So you might hear display port alt mode. And what that means is you're going to now support native DisplayPort signaling over that USB-C connection. So there's other alt modes that are being implemented, such as HDMI, excuse me, HDMI, as well as USB 4, which is going to be an alternate to the USB-C spec, which is coming too. So you have to wonder, well, are these all compatible with one another? If I get DisplayPort alt mode docking station, for example, is that going to work with the Thunderbolt 3 laptop and vice versa? So these are all kind of questions you need to consider as you move forward. So what do you do? And lastly, cables matter. So the reason I wanted to put this in here, because oftentimes people will go out and say, you know what, I'm going to try and save some money. Maybe I'll go out to Amazon and I'll look for some cables. And this is where a lot of problems can arise, right? Because even though you may find that the cable itself is, cheaper, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's meeting the spec. And that can create a problem. We run into this with our customers where they're seeing things like maybe a monitor's flickering or something else, and they'll find that they went and purchased a cable, and I'll say Amazon, but it could be any places. And that can impact, the performance overall. So in terms of implementation, excuse me. So what do? You've got all these things you're considering. What do we advise our customers on here? I think this kind of looks like an SDLC, and it really is. I mean, the first thing you need to do is understand your needs, know your environment, especially working with big customers that we work with. They oftentimes have a huge ecosystem of different types of laptops, different connectors, and they're in the process of maybe evolving that, but they still have to support all their needs across this ecosystem of devices and users, tablets, to everything else. So where are you in the process? What are your needs, and where are you moving forward? And consult with an expert. So talk to the vendors, talk to the engineers there, understand what they're doing, what direction it's going, and obviously test, right? You have to understand what's going to work, because just because it sounds like it should work in theory, lots of times it doesn't. You get in there and you start, whether it's in a conference room or you're setting up a hoteling environment, for example, is that going to work across all the different devices you work with, and you're trying to get these connections to work? And also, when you're doing tests, we also advise not to use any kinds of adapters if you can. Adapters usually cause problems. Optimize and adjust, implement the plan, and standardization. So, here what I mean by that is, where you can try and standardize on, a single docking station, because that's one of the things here. We at Targus, we work with a lot of customers and clients that are implementing some kind of agile workspace or hoteling environment. So we say try and standardize where you can, standardize on the cables, the connections, make things easy so that, from your support staff, the help desk and things, it's easier to troubleshoot and it's easier to support. So, what are the takeaways now? What are the things you need to remember as you go out and you're considering all these different things that I was talking about with USB-C, Thunderbolt, alt mode? Don't let the confusion get to you. And what I see is a lot of times people hold back on making decisions because they get overwhelmed with all the different technology, terminology, and everything. Just, I think that the takeaway here is to really consult, talk to your staff, talk to the people, do your research, do your homework so you understand. And just because, something says, oh, this is going to work, don't necessarily believe that. consider those factors. So what I mean by that is, look at the data, look at the video, look at the power. What are the needs you have there? And avoid vendor lock. A lot of times we'll see things where vendors implement things that are, while it works, it's only going to work with their devices and it's not universal. And so you then get stuck when you make a change later that it's not going to necessarily work with somebody else's technology. So we at Targus, we really try and develop universal solutions that's going to work across different platforms, devices, so that you're not locked into working with a single vendor. And as the technology evolves and as things change, you can be secure that it's going to continue to work for you. So that's it. Short and sweet. And it's the end of the day, and you probably don't want to hear too much on USB-C, but I can take any questions, or feel free to come up and talk to me afterwards. All right, thank you.